Welcome to Ten8. Ten8 is a more personal and journal-style series of articles by myself that will center around police management, criminology, and policing. The articles will not be the typical citation-driven essay style that I use. For those articles, please see my Medium page, published books such as Amazon, especially The Business of Policing, Volume 1, Crimes and Punishments in the 21st Century, or scientific published literature highlighted by The Business of Policing, Volume 2, Managing Ethical Police Conduct. Here I will post frequent thought streams on my personal philosophies. Thanks for listening in. The Call of the Streets. I know I'm not alone in this feeling. I am exhausted. Mentally exhausted and somehow physically exhausted. It is taking a serious effort right now just to write. It seems like it was so long ago that our efforts mattered and that the world around us made sense. Is this why some celebrities find their way back on the streets and the rest of society cannot understand why? Is this why some of our homeless choose their situation? It is most certainly not what I'm going to do. I have my other priorities. But I really miss the streets of Baltimore. Not these protesters and those who take up the role of speaking for other people. I mean the real streets. I assume they still exist, maybe not. But in my day, there were no politics. Who was POTUS was literally irrelevant, and black men were strong providers or survivors who did whatever they had to in the struggle. I respected that. As much as I disagreed, I at least understood, and it made sense. I miss the principled man. Now, any of us from the streets know this is a rare bird. But I remember a particular example. I wish I could remember his name. If you are familiar with Park Heights around Cold Spring, maybe you know who I am speaking of. He was a lower level street thug, but he could not be broken. He was loyal not just to his people, but the game and the code. It did not matter what you called him with, what you threatened to do, or what you offered in exchange. His only reply was, "You pig." And I loved it. I respected him so much. I was involved in thousands of arrests, and this was not common. But when I saw it, well, it was a world that made sense. It is what I hoped I would do in his shoes. I get that these guys were in desperate situations, and I do not mean to glorify the conditions and their actions that got them there. Still, if that happened to you, who do you wish you were? The one saving their own butt or the loyal one that says, "You pig"? I miss the surreal feeling when everything was all too real. Spying on drug deals from rooftops with binoculars. Oh, or this one time, terrible story. Terrible. This juvenile was getting arrested, maybe 14 or so years old. He did something, I do not remember, but he deserved the arrest. The old salty veteran wagon man loaded him into the back of the transport van. Others were already in the van, and the kid was sitting down, and the veteran officer shut the doors. The boy yelled out, and not in this phony way you hear prisoners yell. This was a genuine yell of pain. It stands out if you have ever heard someone yell out in real pain or terror. Apparently, when sitting down and just before the officer shut the door, the kid grabbed the edge of the door frame, and the hinge chopped the kid's finger clean off. The wagon man opened the door as the finger rolled onto the bumper. The veteran responded with a shrug, picked the finger up with an evidence bag, and secured it. Told the kid to shut up so he could get help. Then calmly walked to the driver's seat while calling for an ambulance to meet him at a safe location. I got into my car and followed. The ambo arrived and the officer explained what happened. Got the kid into the ambo and handed the medic the finger. He got back in the van and drove the remaining prisoners to booking and requested the sergeant meet him there to report the events. Everything calm, cool, and collected. But this kid's damn finger was just chopped off by a police officer during an arrest. What the hell is going on here? It only took about 5 years before I was as whatever as that wagon man. But at the time, it was so surreal and real at the same time. For those concerned, good news. The kid's finger was successfully reattached. Amazingly, last I knew, the parents did not even sue the city. The mom thought that he got what he deserved for acting that way. I miss a Friday night at the courts. And grossly, I miss the air of danger surrounding it. I miss mean looks from street kids. I miss the excitement when the Ravens played. I missed L.C. Lucas trying to bribe me with Maryland-style jumbo steamed shrimp in a sit-down conversation so he could tell me jokes and keep me occupied while his crew ran the shop. And no, it never worked. I miss the Pakistani and Indian shop owners and workers. They were typically immigrant family operations, so wherever you went, it was like being part of a family with different people at different hours and days. Nothing on the news really mattered. We talked about what was happening around us, our dreams, and how to make it just a little further. All in all, I suppose I missed the drama of it all, and it was not just drama. We have plenty of drama now. It was all real drama. It was all real life with real stakes and real participants. Going behind the curtains and seeing LA and the media from inside was a grotesque experience for me. Between the reaction to the virus, riots, Russiagate, resist, what BLM has become, cancel culture, and on and on and on, I feel like I'm watching life from the outside, as if observing Salem and the McCarthy era in real time, at an even larger scale, with no ability to influence or slow the delusion. It has been quite demoralizing, and it makes me feel the call of the streets.